So with this week being the first week of February, we know next week is a good chance that we could start hearing more about Nintendo Direct rumors. And right now, it seems like lots of the rumors and leaks are pointing to next week actually being the Nintendo Direct week. There's a lot of reasons why that could be, and I'm here to talk to you about why that's actually probably going to happen and what all the rumors are actually saying, including some games and announcements and things that could be happening along that time as well. Of course, lots of this stuff is just rumors from various different sources, so it's impossible to say anything until we hear that golden boy speak, or at least that red bird speak, because until then, I'm taking everything with a grain of salt. So apparently next week is Nintendo Direct, and I've been hearing probably an announcement on Tuesday with a Direct airing on Wednesday or maybe even Thursday. So definitely start preparing for something to happen relatively soon, and this is nothing new. Nintendo Directs have been airing in February, I think 4 of the last 5 years. So this is something that I think everyone is expecting by now. Out of those 4, we had February 13th, February 17th, February 9th, and February 8th. So odds are, yeah, we're going to get one at the beginning of February. They always like to do the first 2 weeks. So the 7th or the 8th, which is next Wednesday or Thursday, looks like to be the prime time for the Nintendo Direct, with a lot of leaks and rumors suggesting the 7th with an announcement on the 6th. Another, I guess, insider that I'm not particularly familiar with that I keep getting sent this tweet is Special Nick, that apparently has teased a Nintendo Direct for next week. So there's something, I feel like I said, I have no clue who this is, but I've just been seeing people talk about this person has teased something. I guess the same person has jumped into live streams and even like Jeff Grubb's Game Mess live streams and been talking about, yep, a Direct is happening next week and been teasing it. So, you know, there's some information out there for that. Hate the Hate comes out and says that they've heard something of a Nintendo Direct, but they just don't know what date and time for sure. And apparently a new insider that just came out of nowhere on Twitter called Tommy Bear Knows has been tweeting tons of stuff. Now, we don't know any credibility of this person, so of course we can't take any of it for truth. We just gotta take it with a grain of salt. They've also been DMing me lots of information about what to expect, and it's a lot. But they actually did tell me about a Nintendo Direct next week, and this was almost a month ago, before anyone was really talking about this thing. And they even called out the exact date over a month ago, so this is pretty interesting. And okay, it seems like a Nintendo Direct is happening next week, but the question is, what do we expect? What is coming in this show? Well, I have a little bit of information that once again we have to take all with a grain of salt, and the rest is just speculation and up in the air at this point. Well, this once again comes from this new account called Tommy Bear Knows, and pretty much states, here's what to expect in the Nintendo Direct next week. News on Paper Mario, Luigi's Mansion 2 new trailer, new Donkey Kong game, reminder of the Zelda concert, more RPG games because it's a given that those must be in every Nintendo Direct, an old Mario game remake, and DLC for Mario Wonder. All of this sounds pretty safe, to say the least. A lot of this stuff is stuff that we can expect. I think the biggest surprise out of all of this is not even the Donkey Kong game, because we've been hearing rumors about that for a while, but definitely the DLC for Mario Wonder. I didn't really expect Nintendo to release any more DLC after Splatoon 3 is probably going to be the last one, so that one does have me raising my eyebrow a bit, and some other stuff as well. But Tommy Bear Knows goes on to say that he still is holding to a Nintendo Direct presentation in March, which is something that we've talked about on the channel before. Apparently there's going to be some type of separate presentation after the Nintendo Direct about a month later to focus on this new console and games specific to this new console. And that's why he says a lot that this Direct is going to be okay. It's not going to be anything super crazy or special until this Direct presentation for this Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be. But Tommy Bear Knows also drops a couple more games in a recent post. He also states to not forget about these two, which is a picture of Captain Toad and a picture of Yoshi with the Nintendo Direct saying 2/7/2024. Now, what's interesting about this is that these are two characters that, yeah, we really haven't seen much of on the Nintendo Switch. Yoshi's Crafted World came out in 2019, and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, I believe, came out in 2018, which was already a port of the one from the Wii U. So yeah, that is something interesting. Maybe they just chose two random characters and said we haven't seen them in a while, they could show up, or maybe they actually do have some information about some possible games. If this is the last year of the Switch, it sounds like some type of games that Nintendo would show because they're not too big. They're easy games that they could show off and probably have release, you know, in a couple of months or something along those lines. I'm not downplaying them by any means, but they're definitely not like the next huge Mario, the next huge Zelda or anything like that. But they are some pretty big announcements that would get people excited. I definitely would be excited to play another Captain Toad for sure. This same account also said things like Zelda fans are finally going to be happy, and we'll talk about that in a second, but also said that we're going to get another remake of an old Mario game on the Game Boy once again, and it apparently is going to be Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins, which is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I seriously don't believe this one. I just don't understand why in the world Nintendo would do that. But then again, they did just do Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which is a game I never thought they would do. So it looks like Nintendo really is on remaster, remake, high right now, where they're just releasing everything that they released in the past again. So who knows? But that would definitely be a strange one. I do want to bring up these concerts again because I know a lot of people like to say that they're just concerts, there's nothing to really look into, but Nintendo's really never held like 2 big digital concerts on the same week with Splatoon and Zelda. It was a little strange, and at the end of the week at that, on Friday and Saturday, really feels like maybe next week is just a big week for Nintendo. I believe their investors meeting is at the end of next week as well, so you have a Nintendo Direct, you have their investors meeting, you have obviously these 2 concerts, and it just makes a lot of sense, and I feel like these 2 concerts also could tie into some, announcements, with the Splatoon concert tying into Side Order DLC, which we know we're getting at the end of February. That just makes a lot of sense to have some big Splatoon thing there. Then with the Zelda concert, maybe there's going to be some Zelda announcements. Since Tears of the Kingdom, we really haven't had anything. There was no DLC, and the rumors are saying there's not going to be DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, and I think the developers even came out and said there's not going to be DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. So what are we going to get? It definitely seems like the year of a remake, remaster, port, something. A lot of people are still waiting for those Wind Waker, Twilight Princess ports. It should just be coming very, very soon. There's even been rumors of an Ocarina of Time remaster of some sort. Who knows if that's true? There's even been rumors of a remake of the Oracle games. So something Zelda is probably guaranteed to happen at this show. What exactly, I'm just not sure. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be a fun week next week for sure. Lots of the rumors are finally circling around. It feels like it's one of those times where things are about to happen. And even with the rumors, even if this Direct isn't going to be very huge, it still looks like it's going to be a fun one. With some little surprises, some more remakes and remasters, it should be enough to satisfy a lot of people, at least until we get word on this new console, which a lot of things are starting to shake up for this thing, with a lot of people saying there could be a March or April reveal event for this thing, and something else just recently happened. So a good buddy of mine, Nintendo Prime, go check out their channel. They cover everything according to the time that thing drops, man. If you want quick news, just go check them out. But apparently, they just covered something very interesting. Apparently, in a forum, somebody commented on the fact that they were actually in a Discord or heard chatter in a Discord about communications coming to GameStop about a new Nintendo console. And they were talking about they were unsure how true it was. And apparently also followed up by saying, to their understanding, it was internal communications from corporate to retail. So it sounds as if GameStop is preparing for a big console announcement very, very soon, which is very interesting. And also, Nintendo Prime has stated that they have heard directly, was reached out to by someone that has claimed to hear chatter about GameStop preparing for a new console. So obviously, we all know when a new console is announced, pre-orders go live very, very soon. Whether it's that day, the day after, or very soon. People are calling frantically trying to get pre-orders placed for this thing. So corporations have to be prepared for this stuff. You've seen how crazy the Xbox One X was and the PS5 was to get hands on. As soon as those pre-orders went live, like everything started crashing. So obviously stores are trying to prepare for this in better ways. And I'm sure GameStop wants to go about this a lot better, a lot more smoother with this new Nintendo Switch console. But it seems like maybe something's happening very, very soon. I mean, of course, we had those rumors of something happening in March, but it gets even crazier because what if something's happening during this Nintendo Direct? What if Nintendo just says, hold on, let's just reveal this thing at the end of the Direct or even halfway through, and maybe we get some huge games announced for it, and it is time to finally see that brand new 3D Mario or something else. This is a crazy time for sure. It's impossible to say, so I'm just here to get you hype and get you excited for this upcoming Nintendo Direct, but you know what? Take everything with a grain of salt, but also be excited. This is a time, this is a season to be happy for upcoming game announcements and even a new console. I mean, we only get a new console every 6 to 7 years, so let's take some time to enjoy this. I leave you with this before the weekend. There's a lot of news on the table, and just be excited. Next week seems like it's going to be an interesting one no matter what happens, so make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo and anything that does go down for next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.